Today's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe teaches us, and it's a privilege to be doing this from Sfas, and you see Meron here, which is the center where Kabbalah was revealed, and it teaches us as follows. Our soul, it says, Vayipach ba'apav nishmas chayim. God breathed the breath of life into him. As the Tanya has been teaching us, every single thing in the universe, a very good example for this is like a computer. Anything that's on your screen, it could be a billion different apps, it could be the most sophisticated calculations, it could be anything. But it's all coming from the brain of the computer. Without the computer giving the information, giving literally the energy, the life force, nothing exists. So even though your soul comes directly from God, at the same time it mirrors the supernal spheres, the 10 ways God has emanated for himself, how he himself deals with reality. And it says, Mibsari echselika, from my own flesh I will understand God, because God basically created us in such a way that we and him have a similarity. What is a similarity? Is that we function on basically 5 levels. There's the core level of the soul, which is our essence, our things that matter to us. There is our desires. There is our now abilities to activate ourself. Now, this is what we call klichos, abilities. These abilities are divided into 2. You have the ability of the ability to conceive of ideas, the ability to understand and really go deeper into an idea. Imagine it's called nekuda vehichala. So chachma, conceiving of an idea, is like, imagine you think about a palace. Now, bina is the details. How big is your palace? What are in the rooms? All of that. And then the ability to transform an idea into an emotion. Now, are you actually going to build that palace? Only if you really, really want to. We all have many desires. Why do we do one thing instead of the other? Is because this is what I desire more than the other. Last but not least, we have emotions, which are kind of our practical desires. We have the things that we love, the things that we fear, that we're afraid of. These emotions drive us. If I want something, I'm driven to go get it. If I'm afraid, I'm driven to not go there, to stay away from it. Love and fear drives all emotions. Now, the soul comes from God, but it mirrors these heavenly spheres, and these spheres create the realities in the world. Now, what's very important to understand is that we are, in essence, it's like a rope. It goes from God down here. Now, you know, when you have a rope, if you shake the bottom of the rope, the top of the rope gets shaken too. A person can never say, and this is one of the great discoveries of physics and quantum physics, we think that we live in a world that doesn't react to us. But the truth is, the universe is a reaction to you. It's very hard to understand this, but the entire universe is a creation of you. It exists because of God's love for you, and it continues to exist in the manner that we behave. This is what it says in the Kabbalah, and in this time, when we're facing a bit of an uncertain future, and the world, as it sometimes says, is shaking, it is fundamentally important to take deeply into your heart the words that I will tell you now, which actually began right here from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. There is a secret to the universe and how it functions. It functions through the Hebrew letters. The Hebrew letters are the energy sources of everything that exists in the universe. These Hebrew letters are also called the 10 sayings. These 10 sayings were said by God, such as Vayihi Or, let there be light. And they're the actual mechanism of how light comes into this world. That's why people that know Kabbalah, know names of God, can literally kind of create miracles just knowing the code. It is a code, almost like a computer code of how you make something exist on the computer screen. I know some programming, you just write the code, you'll get anything you want, any shape, any color, anything you want. And the same thing is that this code has a code behind the code. And that is the 10 Commandments. These are letters from God. and this is the code behind the code. And quite simply, we are all in a time that we know people have been taken captive by a despicable, disgusting, sick group of Islamic murderers. We know that they want nothing but the death of the West. In fact, they want their own death, which is why it's so hard to fight them, because they believe that if they die in what they call a jihad, they go to heaven and get to rape 72 wide-eyed virgins in some kind of insane delusion. So we are in a literally in a situation that we need all the positive energy possible. And the positive energy comes from when we study Torah, and more importantly, when we do the Torah, when we do the mitzvahs, we connect to God, when we connect to ourselves, when we connect to our fellow man. This is the source code that gives life, that the energy that flows, because we are that rope. We are bringing the energy, but we bring it from the right place of holiness. So you have to turn off the media. What the enemy wants is that you should be worried, you should be afraid, you should be focused on the real truth that God runs the world, on the real truth that we are about to enter into the holy temple, that there's going to be infinite miracles that are going to occur and the evil will be wiped out. Focus on what you can do. Don't focus on what you can't do. Focus on what you love. Don't focus on what you fear. Good luck. We need you.